Posionegod, Wade Blevins, Dabaton, Galele Jacket or Kohig, Nug, Sko, Sudalin, Jalagi de Lo Costi, Jalagi Guntin no Unole, Dabaton, Claco, the Gig. Welcome to Cherokee 3 here at RSU TV. My name is Wade Blevins. I'm from Jay, Oklahoma. And today is our 46th Cherokee lesson. So we're nearly finished with the entire course. Hopefully you've been hanging in like a champ. I know sometimes it can be a little daunting. There's a lot, and but I've found that, at least for me and the way that I learn, this is the best way. Is you just hear it, you understand what's going on while you're hearing it, and then eventually it just starts to make sense. You know, you'll start to make a lot of mistakes, but as you keep going, you'll make fewer and fewer mistakes, and I find that that's what how it's been for me. Learning this way. Cherokee verbs are very daunting because there are literally hundreds of ways that you can change one single verb. And knowing how to change those verbs, you know, there of course are rules and things like that, but if you're like me, I can't think of all those rules while I'm speaking. But being exposed to those verbs over and over again in many different ways and in many different situations has really helped me kind of intuit or know how they need to change. And I still make a lot of mistakes, and you will too, and that's okay. You just keep plugging away at it. So today what we're going to do is I'm actually going to show you the actual page from the Pretty Colored Snake story, and we will try to read it from the actual page, and we'll talk about it a little bit, and then we will go through and we'll get as far as we can in the Tojuwa Sequanid story. Of course, that's a little bit longer story, but we'll do the best we can. So come, idalena jalagi diwone. Okay. All right. So here is the actual page that our story has come from. This came from a group of language materials that was created in 1966, and the people that worked on that, I do want to give credit to those individuals, because you know, probably most of them are gone at this time, and you know, and perhaps you're one of their descendants, and so I think it's important to acknowledge that legacy that they left behind for us. And so the people that worked on this, of course, as I mentioned one time before, Watt Spade worked on this, as well as Willard Walker. They were the two main translators for this set of stories. There are several stories in there. And then the other people that helped was Alec England, Juanita Crittenden, Lizzie England, Johnson Teehee, and Sam Hare. Those were the other speakers that gave input in this project that they did. And then you can see right here at the bottom of this awesome picture, it says J. Redcorn, and of course that's Jim Redcorn, and he did all of the artwork for this project. And you can see here's the Ganohali Don, and here's Inad. Ushti, Inad, right? And you can see all the little patterns on him, and you can see Jisqua, the bird that he had shot, right? So you can see it right there. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to try to read this from the actual reading, and you'll find, or at least for me, and maybe it's just my brain is weird, but I have a harder time reading it like this, even though it's the same it's the same syllabary, it's the same everything, but it freaks me out a little bit, especially when it's a big page full of syllabary. It just seems undoable, and I'm just as guilty as everyone else. Probably if you're a language learner, you're probably on some of the social media groups that offer Cherokee language. I know there are several on Facebook and different places like that. You know, there are lots of opportunities for you to get with other learners and learn and ask questions and get input. And I know for myself, if there's like a big, you know, thing of Cherokee written in syllabary, I have to admit I don't even try because, you know, it seems like so much work. But we can do it, and we need to do it, because the more we do it, the better we get at it. Okay, so let's read through this. We're going to read through the whole thing, and we'll just take it slowly. Read with me if you can, and we will get started. So, come. U do he un di ina da ko hi chike sage e he I gano hi li don he ni kan I go hu no uyo hi he o sta agisti a galujik sawu iga I aisa ji squa de gane he ju hyo tlai u go he no u sti inada gang ge no hu ti u wo du jahi un je una je inada u wo du hi una unja di ale u don di ni go ste di kan di gano hi li don hi no u le wis tane u toast tane u yo si ske di kan di ji squano duna ne le a si nu en daku hela skeno nun do daku na I ai se ji stu de gane he ju hyo tlai in iu go he in da I gang ge u wo du hi u don di ni go stay a se no ina hi u te say ji stu no du na ne le hi ano nu we se o si yo iu we na se no hle he no gano hi li do hi iu go he ina da u tana na gu ge se a se no u dan ti ni go stay a le u yo si ske ni go stay gano hi li do hi no ga no de gane he u le wis tane una ne le no ina da gana kawoki na gu le gano hi li do hi ju we na sa we wak te a hui anigin dali sehe nagu no uwo duhi unjati inada uwe kwatan ale sigu dikanti uyo siske kano hili do hino uwe do li jei uton ahui unanele uwa heste juhena sano utagane yawi dinaliski si sai unaliski sti dige sai Nagada ani sanoi unilu jei nahi you know sanoi analiski ske ajila I gotan dani no giske juweti dikano gisti inada ulu te duduis tane ino gawadeida yawi analiski ska inada no utana ale gana hid dudane se gustuida yawi ale yawi dune nulawis tanei inata nika unjati ale udanti ale uyosiske nigoste yahwino unlena he aniska ihe Niduni we se lei ani chuj junho tladi gal chati ale di gatlid uni hiosti ai inada ani chuchano duni he digatlijat ale negada unaligone uni hiotle inada inada no unisone katokano uda sidola nika unjati dutle yawi andiskano inada naskia yoneg gese. Okay? So see, we can do it. We did it. We read our way all the way through the story. Hopefully, you were able to kind of figure out where we were in the story. So let's go ahead and we will work our way through the Redbird Smith story. We'll get as far as we can, okay? All right. Hiolekis hi a askaya ayetli chikadog. Niole ganyek Redbird Smith do don't eh. Toju was sequinid do don't eh. Talagi gati. Sida ojali heliga hi ina juskeda askaya. Sagu iagayel chanelsko etsku igskohi udene toju sequinid. Kohichik kuye gwoni sonela du sine ojali heli go udeti yiska. Klaskeno do yogan to do udeti yiska. Tojuwa si kwanid udeti yiska yinustan. Ani katu wagi aniya wiya gatiyo anego. Gadoke. Tojuwa si kwanid uske jiki. Tojuwa udod pigsmith du doe. Si kwanid jalagi ganti du doe. Ontni Smith duni yoneg ani yoneg du noe. A se gotlan na anski jage se yusti. Tojuwa uji Lizzie Hildebrand du doe. E jul a jalagi ale a de jage se. Jalagi ueti di stoski dalan staneha Lizzie udod. I jul jukaya leke uweti jalagi nanda neha duno hi hune. Didana wiski ge se udod. Okay, his dad was a medicine man, right? Didana wiski. Nu de nas tojuwa ani kayalake dini na wiski ani no se le sikwanid tojuwa didatine ni dagalstanisa klaskin yehes di nigalstana. Sikwanid unasa agusa sam tojuwa udehyodi. Anoji ayanwi yagese agusa sam. Nulstanan ale uweti unino hetlan ani jalaki ani gusa ale ani nochi dak tahe agusa sam. Osta adelo kwaski gehe tojuwa. Udanto ale toga woniski gehe. Du yukta no leji yukt gehe. Sawa yagiyel chanelsko ets kusonelsko. Tojuwa anikatu wagi ajista nigestan skaduke didatini dohi gehe. Nahi yujage santalagi aneha ahyatohi hangehe. Une gujet nanda neha. Talagi ayetli udigale yo zergesa. Danfli ha unlena ha unadalena unadalka. Squeezed ani yonega nehe. Tla unelagi elisa yigese. Ani yoneg dudo tlasa uduli he. Ahya tasti anita lagi aneha. Ani yoneg das commission uno tlane. Ani duni sesti aneha anita lagi. Das commission unduli he ayetli he unidisti gado ani jalaki. Gado uni he nikata ani jalaki tla ani siya we ha yagese. Ani yoneg unduli he duni neti gado nikata ani jalaki aneha. Nole duni skolstoti ani yoneg un deti gado. Tla yunduli ske ani jalagi yinulstoti. Nikalasta nuska ani katuwagi dindatine ani aneliske duyukta galohisti unkeuska. Nigalsta nuska. Okay. Unetlanahi dun keusa aneliske anikaduwagi. Anigayul hi'a nuniwe sela tojuwa jido haled jalagi iunatati jigaloso husky. Utadanesco di dadlos di galuk di wunest. Bob Ross du nae di dadlos di hlaskin jujele yigese. Bob Ross udod John Ross gese. John Ross dalagi ugo yuhi gese. Told you one, the Kenny Waters Ale Wilson Gertie. Undu dale di dadlosti we do ni nasty. The Kenny Waters di datini don't he I just done gas daskaduki gas Ale Wilson Gertie di datini don't he knew you he skaduki gas Kohijigesa di dadlos di anis go tana anis go tane ugo yuhi. Asen non John Ross uyo husele uwej eliske di dadlos di dunzeli Ross di dudatin na ai gese. Kla negoda anitalagi. Hi'a ani jo'i ani skaya John Smith wuni na se di dadlos di we dugisti. Di dadlos di dun toli somo elis kebab. Dun tol somo, elis kebab. No, le John Smith di dadlos di we do ne se. Sita duni na on di dadlos di anikadu wagi. Sawu yagayel chanelsko it's gugal kwasko sawu tojuwa ale Lucy Fields unanela de. Skon dudatina chanel ani chuj ta ale tal ani ge huge. John, Ella, Sam, Thomas, Susie, George, Mose, Richard, Kaya, Ale Stokes, Dun Don Yonegiga di Juwej Juni Kahe Tojua Ale Lucy. I think that should be Jiduni Kahe, Tojua Ale Lucy. Jiduni Kahe. Jalagi Kantino, Unanugoji, Guedi, Yoni, Agoda, Jigwoni, Jaji, Guneda, Shikonid, Amayili, Ale, Gaged, Dundoe. Okay. Tojuwa, Duge you say, Nigada Yanwi, Tlaskin Anija Lakiwu. Okay, all of this part is new, but I'm going to go ahead and read through it, and then we're going to go back through, okay? Ani chalaki, duli cha done, jundelo quasti, ale, stai, junilo staneti. Juscalesti, ale, ata de ujehi, tla, du yukta yigese, udane tojuwa. Du de hione elonhi, diniktia, jigese aniyowiya. Udaliha, udane elohi yidiktia, unsqua, jijiktia elohi. Elohi, uwonane, unetlanahi. Uwosane, unetlanahi. Unsquyawi, duwosane, unetlanahi. Skina iusti. Nagata, jidu wosane, unetlanahi. Du yukta, duni star what does say. I had to think about it. Duni star what does say. Okay, so that's as far as we're going to get in the story with Redbird. So we're going to go back through. Let's go back. We talked about that one already. Okay, so let's go through here. But I wanted to have a fairly long stretch of only Cherokee because there's something that happens to our brains if we just hear Cherokee for a while. It just kind of starts to seep in. So John, Ella, Sam, Thomas, Susie, George, Mose, Richard, Kaya, Ale, Stokes, Dundon, Yonegi Ganti, Juwej, Jiduni Kahe, Tojua, Ale, Lucy. Okay, so all of those and Stokes were the names in English of the children that Tojua and Lucy had. Okay. So we'll go through and just look at the Cherokee parts. Ale, of course, is and. Dundon were their names. Yonegi, English. Ganti, using. Juwej, children. Offspring, I guess, would be a better word. Remember, the word Juwej can also mean eggs. So, jitu ni kahe, that they had. Okay, them that they had. Okay, here it just says juni kahe, but I believe it should probably be jidu ni kahe. Okay, the ones that they had. Tojuwa, Redbird, Ale, and Lucy. Okay. So, and we've talked about that word whenever we talked about having animals, right? We talked about the difference between owning an animal and having an animal, and how some speakers feel differently about the use of this word. But it's kind of like in English, because sometimes people will say, "Oh, I have 3 kids," right? You know, but to a literal speaker, they don't have 3 kids in their hand right at that second. It means that they've given birth to 3 children, right? So that agi ka can mean I have something alive. It can either be physically within our presence, or it can be in a more euphemistic sense, like just like we do in English, we say, I have kids, right? So, and then when we're talking about animals, there's also jinatla, right? I own something that's domesticated. Some speakers use that for any kind of animal that you might have that's domesticated. Some use it only for animals that provide a service to you, like cattle, chickens, pigs, horses. They work for you. They don't just lay around like a dog or a cat. So, and that's one of the interesting things about the language and how it shapes how people think, right? So, let's continue on. Jalagi no. Okay. Unanu goj, gwedi, yoni, agod, chikwoni, chaji, guneda, sikwanid, Amayili, Ale, Gaged, Dundo. Okay, you should be able to follow that. Jalagi, to know. And then in Cherokee, Jalagi, Cherokee, to know, then using Cherokee. Okay. Unanu Goj, Unenu Goj, Kwedi, Yoni, Agod, Chikwoni, Chaji, Guned, Sikwanid, Amayil, Ale, Gaged, Dundoe. Okay? So I wrote them exactly as Benny Smith, who of course is a descendant of Toju was Sikwanid. I wrote them exactly how he wrote them. Again, there's could be a little bit of dialect difference. For example, let's take this word yoni. Okay, I'm assuming that probably means bear. Most people say yona or yon for bear, but when he wrote it yoni. Okay. And so I didn't change it. I just wrote it exactly as it was. Agod, agoda, that's like the flat plains or the prairies. Okay. Jaji, George. Okay. Sikwanid, young pig, again. Gaged, heavy. Gaged, that means heavy. So Dundoe were their names. Okay. Tojuhua, do you say, Nigada, Yahweh, Hla skin, Anija lakiwo. Okay. Tojuhua, red bird. Do you say, okay, he cared for, he loved, okay, you say, he loved. Nigada, all, Yahweh, people. So, Tojuhua, Dugeyu, Se Nagadayu, he loved all people. Tlaskin, Ani Chalakiwu. Okay, not just the Cherokees. Not only the Cherokees. Okay, Tojuhua, Dugeyu, Se Nagadayu, Tlaskin, Ani Chalakiwu. Okay. Tojuhua, Dugeyu, Se Nagadayu, Tlaskin, Ani Chalakiwu. Okay. Ani Chalaki, the Cherokees. Ani Chalaki, the Cherokees. Duli Jadone. Okay. Duli Jadone. He preached. Duli Jadone. Junadelo Quasti. Okay. Education. Junadelo Quasti. He preached that they should learn. Ale and stai can mean hard, difficult. Okay, stai. Junilo stanedi. That they should to work. That they should work. Okay? So, if we were going to translate that, Ani Chalaki to the Cherokees, Duli Jadone, he preached education and hard work. Okay? So, he preached to the Cherokees that they should learn and that they should work hard. Okay? So this word here, Jundelo Quasti, it's a word for education, can also mean the word for a school. Jundelo Quasti, right? Junadelo Quasti. It's just where they learn, okay? But it can also just mean the word education. So it can be, and this word stai, okay, that's an interesting word because you can use it in a lot of different places. You can use it to mean hard. You can also use it to mean difficult. You can even use it to mean loud, right? Stai de nogi, let's sing loud, right? But stai can also mean something hard. It can even mean like a rock. And so this is one of those cases that I've always been curious if it's always been that way or if it's just changed to be that way because of the influence of English. Because, of course, we use the word hard in English that way. We you know, something can be physically hard like a rock or concrete, you know, or something can be hard as in difficult, right? You know, trigonometry can be hard, right? You know, quantum physics can be hard, right? And it doesn't mean that it's physically hard, it means it can be difficult, right? We use them in the same instances in Cherokee. And then, like, as I said, we can also use it to mean loud. You know, stai de nogi, let's sing loud. You know, literally we're saying, let's sing hard, right? So, I don't, I've always been curious, but so far I haven't found a speaker that, you know, can tell me, because of course they just know that that's how they use it. And so I would be interested to know. So, let's read through it again. Ani chalaki, duli chadone, okay? Alchadohansky, you know that word already, a preacher, okay? Dul chadone, duli chadone, Junal Jundelo Quasti, Junadelo Quasti Ale, Stai, Stai, Junilo Stanedi. Okay, hard work. Junilo Stai Junilo Stanedi. Okay, so you can use this even in your spoken Cherokee every day. For example, a common thing to do is they'll whenever you greet somebody in Cherokee, you know, of course you'll say hello, how are you? That's good, and then they'll say, oh, gatohadane, what are you doing? You know, and you can say stai dagilastane, you know, or stai dagilastane, I'm working hard, dagilastane. Stai dagilastane, I'm working hard. And then they usually laugh, and then the other person laughs, and you go on about your day. But, you know, so, because it's just kind of a joke, I guess. But, you know, it's kind of like in English whenever they say, oh, are you working hard or hardly working? You know, it's kind of like that. So they're like, oh, I'm working hard, you know. So, stai dagilastane is a really common way to answer, you know, kadohadane, what are you doing? Stai dagilastane, I'm working hard. Nihino, what about you? Say, yeah, school. I do, school, me too, right? All right, so, Ju scaleste. Okay, this is a brand new word for me. I had to look it up. Most of the speakers that I spoke to were not familiar with this word either. It's not really something we juscalesti. It means greed, to be greedy. Juscalesti, you know, but it's not a common word that we have in the Cherokee language, juscalesti. So. Ale adada yo jehi adada yo adada you jehi. Okay, adada you jehi. That means envy, to be envious. Okay, adada you jehi. And in listening to the word, it does sound to me like there's something bad in there, you know, une gujit, you know, because really even our word for love, it really means to be stingy, right? It means to not share. You know, that's really what our word for love in Cherokee, you know, whenever they say gayui, that means it truly means I'm stingy with you. I don't want to share you, is really what that means. So, and you can kind of hear some of those sounds in there. A-da-da-you-jehi, a-da-da-you-jehi. Okay, pla, do-yuk-da. Okay, not do-yuk-da, the right way. Do-yuk-da, the true path. Yigese was, udane, said, tojuwa. Okay, juskaleste ale atada yujehi pla du yukta yigese udane tojuwa. Tojuwa said that greed and envy were not part of the right path. Okay, dudehyone, he taught. Elohi, the world. Okay, danik tiya, chagese aniyawiya. Okay, danik tiya, they take care of it. Elohi danik tiya, they take care of it. Yigese aniyawiya, the Indians take care of the earth. Okay, so dudehyone, he taught. Elohi daniktiya, caregivers to the earth, they were aniyawiya, the Indians. So he taught that the Indians were the caretakers of the earth. Okay, dudehyone, Elohi danik tia jagese ani yawi. Okay. Udaliha udane Elohi yidik tia sku jijik tia Elohi. So this is an interesting one because you hear there's udaliha. That can mean from time to time. It can also mean often. I don't know why it's that way. But often, udane, he said, Elohi, the earth, yidik tia, if we care for it, if we care for the earth, sku, also, jijik tia, Elohi. Also, the earth would take care of us. Okay, so that's kind of what that means. Okay, Udaliha, Udane Elohi yidik tia, skujijik tia Elohi. So if we take care of the earth will in turn take care of us. Okay, we have a few more sentences left, but we're nearly out of time. So in the time remaining, I'm just going to go back through. I'm going to read the sentences that we did today. And then in the next lesson, we'll finish it up and we'll continue on. We'll do something else, okay? So let's go through. Okay. Chalaki kantino unenu goj. Unenu goji gwedi yoni akod chikoni chaji guned Sikwanid Amayili Alegake Dundo. Tojuwa Duge you say Nigada Yami Tlaskin Anijalakiwo. Anijalaki Duli Jadone Jundelo Quasti Ale Stai Junilo Staneti Juskalesti Ale Atadayu Jehi Tla Duyukta Yagese Udane Tojuwa Dudehione Elohi Danik Tia Jagese Aniyawiya Udali ha udane Elohi yidik tia sku jijik tia Elohi. Okay? So that's as far as we got today. Hopefully you got a lot of really good words out of it. A lot of good conversation. So what I would like to do for the remaining 2 lessons, of course we will finish, the sentences that we have to kind of finish out this paragraph about Tojuwa Sikwanid. And then I want to do the last lesson with some strategies that we can use when we're teaching others. For example, if we have kids or grandkids or nieces and nephews that we're teaching, strategies that we can use that. Strategies that we can use in the beginning, and then how we can move on and use hopefully encourage them to use the language themselves. So from all of us here at Cherokee Nation and RSU TV, I just want to say, Wadon, Don Dago Ha, Jadok Sauce Taste.